This is how Blizzard died. I can summarize it in 10 seconds. One, them not balancing World of Warcraft right and fucking up their what's it called, the expansions nonstop. Well, how do I know? Because Asmongold would fucking complain about it every single time on live stream fails. Two, mismanagement and allowing rampant sexual harassment to occur. That's a pretty big one. Probably a larger problem than the other one. That's kind of it. So, she died last year from cancer. Oh my god, I was reading this comment. Met a lady in World of Warcraft with Parkinson's. No one wanted to play with her since she was slow and died a lot. She joined our guild. Everyone loved her and played with her constantly. Wow. That's fucking horrible.
Just a few years ago, Blizzard was one of the most beloved companies in gaming. They were the masterminds who made one of the biggest games of all time. They basically created esports as we know it, and then they tried to change what it meant to be an esports pro forever.
And it failed.
But as poor decision after poor decision began to unravel the community's trust in their favorite developer, the ugly truth became obvious.
It is a company that is so far out of touch and so corrupt that it's gross.
Because there were signs things were a little bit weird, right?
Fuck Brigitte.
We were being told everything was going great.
It is not fun. It is not skill. It is fucking bullshit.
The agency alleges that male employees play video games during the workday while delegating responsibilities to female employees, engage in sexual banter, and joke openly about rape, among other things.
All of this is awful to hear about, and it's completely normal to feel hurt and betrayed and disgusted, especially from a company like Blizzard that many people still idolized and aspired to.
The Blizzard we all knew and loved died a long time ago.
Yeah. Died around the fucking time that Overwatch added Brigitte. Fuck that bitch. And you know what? Let me tell you something, chat. I'm going to go as far as to say, if Brig was never added to the fucking game, it would be like a butterfly effect. She would never get added to the game. Overwatch wouldn't turn to shit. Overwatch would be healthy and fucking surviving and doing well. They would treat their employees better. Everything would be better. But because they set off a massive chain of horrible events by fucking unleashing that champion into the game. As if they literally caused their own demise. That, or they were just pieces of shit even before then. It's possible.
Hey folks, before we get to the video, I just want to remind you all to please sub to the channel and turn on notifications if you haven't done it yet, because it really does help. Okay, so back in the day, Blizzard was on top of the world. An entire generation of gamers grew up playing Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft. Every new release wasn't just a hit, it was a revolutionary new approach to a genre. Blizzard's name on any game was basically ironclad proof of quality.
They always had the reputation too, where it was like, we'll release it when it's ready. And it was kind of a joke in the gaming community, right? Because like it's like, oh, it's delayed and delayed and delayed. But you knew when it came out, it was going to be really good. So it was worth it, you know?
All over the world, Blizzard's games were changing the industry. StarCraft became a huge hit in Korea, leading to the development of a massive esports scene that eventually went global.
The team was trying to create the most serious, intense strategy game they possibly could. And there was no sort
I've
of
never played this shit, so
and then I think Blizzard became
the gameplay of it looks fucking Resident Sleeper's fuck though. And hey, if you're into it, by all means, go crazy. But from what I've seen, it looks fucking absolutely dreadful.
aware. Oh, this is what this could be.
And years later, with the launch of the Overwatch League, it seemed like a career in esports wasn't just possible, it was basically like landing a spot on a professional sports team.
These guys are getting paid to do this. The league minimum is 50 grand a year?
Yes.
And how high does it go potentially?
So there currently isn't a salary cap. So the scale is as good as, and is, to me, demand of the players. So the reality is I don't see these guys any different, and these players any different than a LeBron James, a Stephen Curry. They are the elite of the elite at what they do globally.
I play Winston at an exceptional level. I hold left click better than anyone else on the fucking planet. Compared to LeBron James, is fucking trying as hard as he can to salvage this shitty ass Lakers team. I don't know about that, but
For years, no one could compete with Blizzard. Their games had legions of adoring fans all over the world. A ton of exciting new projects were coming down the
I gotta
pipe,
play for fucking
and
Blizzard
for
games.
many of Blizzard's employees, working for them was a literal childhood dream come true.
And all of a sudden this email pops up and it's from Blizzard Entertainment. And I'm like, and it was a recruiter here and he said, would you be interested in taking our test for Blizzard Entertainment? I was like, yeah, it's been my dream job since I was 12 years old.
But it turns out that behind
cool.
the scenes, that dream was more of a nightmare.
Oh.
And the cracks in the facade began to show a lot earlier than many of us realized.
The abuse?
In 2008, Blizzard merged with Activision, creating a new entity known as Activision Blizzard. But it wasn't just the company's name that changed. See, even while Blizzard were releasing some of their biggest, most beloved games, it seemed like they were getting further and further away from their founding principles. Games for gamers, by gamers, where every voice mattered.
I love what you guys done with Little Crest. I love the fact that you have a lot of very strong female characters. However, I was wondering if we could have some that don't look like they've stepped out of Victoria's Secret's catalog.
Wait. Which catalog would you like them to step out of?
Blizzard was slowly but surely losing their connection to the people they made their games for. And tone-deaf decisions followed one after another.
I know that in the heat of the moment, like, the dude probably thought, oh, well, I'm just gonna fucking make a wisecrack. Oh, well, which catalog would you like them to step out of, huh? Would you like it to be like Hooters or something? Or blah, 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 blah. Like something like Snazzy. Ooh, Zinger, haha. And it's like a room full of fucking dudes that are, you know, I mean, it's a World of Warcraft player base. I mean, there's a reason why there's like a stereotype. But, like that, right? I get it. In the moment, it's like, hey, everyone's gonna laugh along. But now, in retrospect, you look at that and you're like, oh man, oh, that's a fucking bad look. The optics don't look too great.
It is a company that is so far out of touch and so corrupt that it's gross. And then they merged with Activision to form Activision Blizzard, and it was like the Power Rangers coming together to make a Megazord of pure filth. It'd be like combining dog shit and horse shit and then creating the ultimate pile of shit, which is Activision Blizzard.
And Blizzard's leadership was also ignoring the community's pleas for the sorts of games they actually wanted to play, or for the things they wanted to see in those games.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No.
Okay.
And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Mists of Pandaria bled subscribers so hard that it was still shocking, even after Cataclysm got people used to the idea. While it only lost a few 100,000 in the first quarter, second quarter of this expansion, really it led to a fall of 1.3 million subscribers, the game's largest yet.
Of course, no game developer is safe from criticism, but it seemed like the folks over at Blizzard thought they were beyond reproach. As if they'd been told they could do no wrong for so long, they actually started to believe it. And if you need any proof...
The thing is, I'm so ignorant to this game that I can't, like, I can't comment on it. Like, I'm just like, okay, yeah, hey, Mists of Pandaria fucking sucked, I guess. Or was it good? Was it bad?
Of that, look no further than the disaster that was the Diablo Immortal announcement.
Diablo Immortal. We are so excited about this game. If you want to know more, we'll be back here on the Mythic stage in just a few minutes. For those of you who are here at BlizzCon,
nobody fucking even, not a single person clapped.
Thank you. We are gonna have, sorry.
Is there any plans
Jesus.
to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any, the current plan is to be on mobile.
I feel bad for this guy, because you could tell he's kind of flustered. I mean, the fact that nobody fucking responded at all, it's kind of like, oh god, people don't like this, oh fuck, and now he's in his own fucking head, you know? They always say, like, comedians that are up on a stage, if a fucking, a joke bombs, you just keep going and you fucking pretend everyone's cracking up. Everyone's having a good time. You just keep the fucking jokes flying. You do not start going, oh god, they're not liking it. I'm fucking up. Same thing here. This dude's already concerned with that, so that's why he's stuttering and shit.
Both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
Oh. man, that's so bad.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have
Everyone's got a
phones,
phone.
right?
You can play on your tablet too.
Shocking absolutely no one but Blizzard,
That's so
fans
bad.
of franchise that redefined PC action RPGs weren't exactly interested in a mobile game. The whole thing felt like a slap in the face.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
I mean, you've got to know you f***ed up when people at your own convention are booing you, right? But things were about to get a lot worse for Blizzard.
Oh yeah, a lot worse.
Back in 2016, a few years before the Diablo...
This is probably starting with the Overwatch League and how the Overwatch League, how they made some massive deal to have the games exclusively, I think on YouTube, was it? The live streams, and nobody would watch them because YouTube live streaming at that point was like fucking horrendous. The chat hasn't improved much, but the overall UI is better.
Immortal debacle, Blizzard announced its boldest undertaking yet, a multi-million-dollar professional esports league for one of its most popular titles, Overwatch. Fans could attend matches live in person or watch them on Twitch. When the league finally got underway in 2018, Blizzard was selling out their studio games, bringing in big-name talent from all over esports, and the people loved it. It looked like Blizzard did it again. But behind the scenes, things had already started to go sideways. In February 2019, Blizzard announced their record-breaking fourth quarter earnings, and in a shocking twist, a wave of mass layoffs to go along with those earnings.
Right.
Because there were signs things were a little bit weird, right? Where at the end of the first season, we had blown all of our, that we knew of, all of our viewership metrics out of the water. We were being told everything was going great. And then at the end of the year, they were like, and how would you like a pay cut too? And we're like, well, that's a little bit strange.
And it seemed like the same thing was happening over on Twitch's end.
I was not able to speak publicly about OWL while I worked at Twitch for obvious reasons. But you better believe that I was the guy in every fucking meeting going, this is stupid and you're all stupid. It did not feel good. I'll tell you why it didn't feel good. Because that league cost a lot of fucking money. And a year later, 11 of my fucking staff was laid off.
Then, in 2020, Blizzard
I
inked
remember we
a
saw that.
3-year deal with YouTube, tanking the league's viewership numbers in the process.
Dude, there's also a big change that the OS League is just gonna die completely. Like that's a big change. Yeah, and when I mean that, I mean 50K viewers.
The people that made that deal didn't understand the nuance of where a game lives as far as where people prefer to consume that game's content. And while I think that in an ideal world, Overwatch could have certainly grown on YouTube, and it has grown on YouTube. You know, it took time, but at the moment, that was a step back for sure.
Meanwhile,
Right.
the game itself was increasingly plagued by bizarre balance issues,
Yeah.
setting many of its most
Fucking stupid ass 3 tank meta where nothing dies, and then like 50 barrier meta where nothing dies, and then let's just make it so like dive is completely shit and nobody can fucking play it. Let's make it so if you're playing Genji or Tracer, you're just like useless because the medic can beat you in a 1v1. It's stupid. God, I hate Brigitte so much.
prolific pros into retirement or seeking opportunities elsewhere.
Well, Goats is dead, and now it's just double sniper, and that's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Or, oh, now everybody's just going to play McCree. And at a certain point, I'm like, what the hell do you people want?
So, in other words, you don't want him to eat all the ults in the game like D.Va?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There are these moments of regret that you have as a game developer. And perhaps eating everybody's ult is one of those.
Maybe this is gonna be a hot take. I think this shit is the worst thing to happen to Overwatch. This shit is f***ed up. It is not fun. It is not skill. It is fucking bullshit. It is dog shit. This is so bad. I don't know, because people are gonna say, oh, what about Brig release? Or what about
Brig.
Goats? Or no, this is so bad.
And all of those
What is he even
problems with
referencing?
Overwatch were only the tip of Blizzard's mounting issues. There was the highly controversial ban of Blitzchung, a Hearthstone player who voiced his support for the
True.
Hong Kong protesters during an official Blizzard stream.
Activision Blizzard. It has suspended a gamer and taken his prize money away because he made comments.
That was still bullshit, by the way. People fucking moved on from that because obviously they were gonna move on over time. That was still bullshit. Blizzard still should have been. They should have been held to the fire for that.
Supporting Hong Kong protesters.
Then there was the disaster that was Warcraft 3 Reforged. The game looked, sounded, and handled worse than its older predecessor. Blizzard's famous commitment to quality was nowhere to be found. And competitively, a match between Thorzane and Moon at DreamHack Anaheim 2020 had to be restarted 3 times because the game was just that broken.
Oh my God.
We have no Breath of Fire, by the way. It is Drunken Haze, so big mischance on these Dragonhawks and a disconnect.
I'm gonna assume Thorzane dropped, but I feel
Yes.
like Moon was on the way to holding this attack. Ooh.
Ooh, wow.
I don't need a Blood Mage, I don't need you. You're benched.
Once this...
Wow, that's so bad.
And looks like another drop.
So, the games went to shit, Overwatch League was basically dead in the water, everybody thought that Blizzard was China's puppet. Surely things couldn't get worse. But as it turned out,
it did.
Blizzard was about to hit a new low.
That's amazing how much they fucked up.
On July 20th, 2021, after a 2-year investigation, the state of California filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard. In this lawsuit, multiple women who either used to or still worked at the company came forward, alleging sexual harassment, abuse, discrimination, unfair wages, and more.
The agency alleges that male employees play video games during the workday while delegating responsibilities to female employees, engage in sexual banter, and joke openly about rape, among other things. So, they're making the girls do all of the work while they talk about rape and harassing them.
Many of these instances were allegedly reported to supervisors and higher-ups at the company, and
They
yet
didn't do
no
shit.
action was taken. To say that
Shocker.
the gaming community was appalled and outraged would be a huge understatement.
Since I've been employed at Blizzard, I've been subjected to rude comments about my body, unwanted sexual advances, inappropriately touched,
Oh, wow.
subjected to alcohol-infused team events and cube crawls, invited to have casual sex with my supervisors, and surrounded by a frat boy culture that's detrimental to women.
One person who is named in this suit is Alex Afrasiabi, former senior creative director for World of Warcraft, who was permitted to engage in blatant sexual harassment with little to no repercussions. He was so known to engage in harassment of females that his suite was nicknamed
The
Crosby
Crosby
Suite after a
No fucking no shot, dude. His suite was named the Crosby Suite. Wow, that's goddamn.
alleged rapist Bill
Goddamn.
Cosby. How does a nickname like that come about?
Dude, if you've got anything that's like, oh my god, that's the Crosby Suite, that's where that dude stays. I mean, as a person, you should be like, whoa, what the fuck am I doing wrong that I'm getting that association?
A nickname that everybody knows about, and the guy remains employed.
Needless to say, internally, Activision Blizzard had some serious changes they needed to make. But rather than a total overhaul of a deeply flawed company culture, they simply opted for a change in ownership.
Microsoft bought out Blizzard/Activision. Honestly, this is like some Disney level entertainment monopoly type shit. It's reported that the acquisition was for $70 billion.
You're basically comparing a known negative thing, right? Which is like Blizzard.
And I'm being dead serious when I say this. Diablo seems like after the whole fucking Immortal thing, that shit's trending down. Call of Duty is gonna forever sell, but Call of Duty's been fucking trash for a good while now. World of Warcraft, it seems like it's fucking ass. Candy Crush, I mean, fuck off. StarCraft looks resident sleeper. Overwatch is dead. Overwatch is dead. This game is fucking dead, and you cannot convince me. And yeah, I'm gonna be serious now. I'm pretty sure the game's gonna get fucking canceled. I'm pretty sure they're gonna just can Overwatch 2 and fucking just move on. Because there's zero hype, zero fucking excitement. Who is excited for Overwatch 2? In the current state of the game right now, who is excited for fucking Overwatch 2? Delete Brig and I'll buy the game, devs. All right, let's fucking make a deal. I get Overwatch 2 without no Brig. You get my money. Xbox made Game Pass a W. I don't. Yes.
Activision, owned by Bobby Kotick, the fucking worst guy in the world. He's on Epstein's Black Book, and you know they fire people
Black
and
Book too?
they're drinking
shit.
their breast milk, and so it's like we know what that is. You know what I mean? Like we know what that is, and so now we're going into like completely unknown.
While it might seem that a tech monolith like Microsoft would swoop in and restore order, they're leaving things the same for now. The people most responsible for the alleged behavior at Activision Blizzard are still going to be in charge for the foreseeable future. On top of that, Microsoft doesn't exactly have the best track record when it comes to absorbing other companies and making them work. Let's not forget what happened to Mixer. Look, none of us know how this deal is actually going to work out.
Unlucky.
But in the meantime, belief in Blizzard's integrity continues to sink amidst
It turns out when you invest every single fucking dime that you have into like 2 streamers, and then like those streamers' fan bases aren't willing to go with them, it's gonna fail. Mixer's a bad comparison. I mean, yeah, because Mixer isn't fair because they weren't a proven company to begin with. They try to become proven by cashing out and getting streamers to drag the viewers in, and then the viewers would see the layout and be like, hey, this isn't so bad, I'm gonna use this. Like, Bethesda's been around and they've done good things, so it's not like, you know. And Microsoft, look at fucking Microsoft, they're wildly successful. Have they had misses? Yeah, every company has. There's no fucking perfect company, but their overall track record is fucking phenomenal.
Public scrutiny and ridicule.
It's really sad to see leadership kind of mishandle these situations over and over again. So I think a lot of people are just tired in that regard too. You know, I just feel like when the news of the lawsuit broke, I just kind of relived all of that at once. Like, I feel like it just kind of like, I just got so angry, like, wow, I lived through all of this, and here are the leaders at my company that I'm working for now saying that this doesn't happen here, because I know it does, you know? So then I was just like, that's unacceptable, and we should own it and try to do better. That's what taking accountability and leading responsibly is.
There's no doubt that the old Blizzard is dead.
If you want to know why they don't take responsibility and own up to it, it's because it's them. Like, it's like if somebody accuses you of, it's like if you stab someone, okay? You murder somebody, and then like everyone in the village that you live in is like, oh my god, we have to find this fucking murderer. We have to find them. And they're asking everyone, you're not going to walk up and be like, yeah, it was me. I murdered him. No, why would you want to take accountability for doing something bad? Why would you want to ever take accountability if you're caught doing something fucking horrible? In this case, sexual harassment and being fucking misogynistic and shit to women. Yeah, why would you want to be exposed for that? So they're going to fucking deny it until the end of time because they don't want to fucking own it because it's what they did. And God knows how long they were doing this for. People think like, oh, the old Blizzard, Blizzard changed so much, right? Like, this is the old Blizzard that didn't do that, and they only made good games. How do we know? What if the old Blizzard was just as bad to women? Like, while they were still making good games, they could have been just as much as of pieces of shit as like right now.
And it's never coming back. But where does that leave us going forward?
Not playing their games.
All of this is awful to hear about, and it's complete.
That's it? Not playing their games? I don't play Warcraft, so I don't give a fuck. I don't play Overwatch because that game's dead. What other games do they play that I have even remotely interest in? Fuck them.
Normal to feel hurt and betrayed and disgusted.
And I do feel bad for the developers because I imagine that there are guys, obviously there are guys in the company that are probably like, hey, it wasn't cool with any of this shit, but if I fucking spoke up, I'd get fired. And now that the floodgates have fucking like unleashed, now he's like, see, all this was happening, but if I spoke up, I was gonna get fucking screwed.
Especially from a company like Blizzard that many people still idolized and aspired to. It's hard to stomach continuing to give them a sub fee or publicity when they've let this happen, especially considering their responses. On the other hand, I'm not convinced right now that boycotting Blizzard is going to be a direct help to the women that work there. For one, because a lot of those women still work there and have worked very hard on these properties.
I look at Blizzard like a dearly loved relative that is going through a very dark time. And
yeah, like if your fucking relative was like Bill Cosby or something, yeah, that kind of fucking dark time. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, man, I mean, it is a fucking relative going through a dark time. It's just, you know, kind of a fucked up dark time. It's not like, man, they're down in the dumps, you know, like, oh man, they're going through it, you know, like fucking times are tough financially. No, like they're just being horrible.
You can't accept and condone some of the things they do, but deep down you still love them because they're family, and you wish the best for them, and you'll be there to help them out if they let you, you know?
No, I won't.
And so that's kind of how I view the whole thing.
At the end of the day, Blizzard isn't just inept leadership and allegedly horrible internal behavior. It's a company that has been vastly important to gaming as a whole, and that continues to employ thousands of people who are passionate about what they do. Blizzard gave us more than just their games.
Rest in peace of that guy. He passed away. That was an amazing cosplay.
Helped us form some of our most precious childhood memories. Unfortunately, despite all the love and respect it once commanded, Blizzard is now also a glaring example of just how far even our most revered idols can fall.
Yeah. Good video. This is a really good video, damn. I like this. That was a really, really nice video. I mean, it covered a lot of the fucking things. I mean, yeah.